We walk around every single day and people don't know what we deal with. I'm tired. Like last night, we checked Emma around 10 and she was a little high. So we corrected it, gave her some insulin, hoping that, it would bring her back down. And then she alarmed at about 12:30, high. Checked her, gave her insulin, and I set my alarm again for 2 a.m. I also set it for 2:15, just to be sure that if I accidentally sleep through the 2, then hopefully the 2:15 will catch me. Because when I oversleep and I wake up, that is the time that I feel the most fear, because I immediately think, oh my gosh, is she okay? And the morbid thought comes to my mind, what if she went really low and she died?
We called the pediatrician and they said, go straight to the hospital. They said, don't pack anything, don't stop and do anything, especially if she's having symptoms for a couple days, go directly to the ER.
It's a mother's worst nightmare. I do worry about his life. Him going into a coma or having something serious happen when we're gonna be at the hospital. I don't wanna go through that.
Because it's one of those diseases where you have to hurt your child to keep them alive.
You can have great control for a week, but if you have bad control for one day, you can have a pretty bad day. You feel like I have a minute to live. Like I'm going to just close my eyes and die.
My mom was diagnosed when she was 20 or 21. I grew up as a kid watching my mom struggle. Phone calls in the middle of the night that she was in the ER. Watching her pass out at home. So I kind of grew up thinking that T1D was a demon. I needed to know that there was something going on out there outside of what was happening in my home that was looking for a cure.
Say your name, where you're from, and how you're connected to diabetes.
Wait, how do I say where I'm from? I don't know where I'm from. I'm from Vermont, right? Okay.
You're from Mars. Where do you think you're from?
There's no cure. And people need to be aware that if you can't fix it with a diet or exercise and there's no cure, then this disease needs awareness, it needs help, it needs funding. We have a lot of science and a lot of technology in this world today, and I think if with enough attention, they should be able to find a cure.
My name is Emma. I said my name is Emma.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Nick and JoJo take
one.
It's just part of my life, so I just take care of it like I would with sports or school.
It's something that I have to deal with. It's not like anything that I can turn back.
It's a chronic illness. It's not going to go away until they find a cure.
I've almost died several times in my life.
It's really serious, and if you don't think about it all the time, you're going to run yourself into trouble.
Falling asleep without eating enough food, and waking up in an ambulance, waking up in a hospital.
I continue to have days where I just want to blow it off and sort of blow it off.
But at the same time, I can't feel my mouth or my head hurts, and I know for a fact I'm low.
You get aggravated really easily or sad really easily.
When I'm low, my stomach doesn't feel very good, so I can kind of feel like, oh, I'm low, I better test my sugars.
She never complains, she never cries, she never gets really upset, even though some of the things that we do definitely hurt.
Raise your hand and tell me if you hate getting shots at the doctor's office.
I hate it.
I hate it.
One of us would have to physically hold her down while the other gave her a shot while she was screaming and crying.
But kids with diabetes, they get lots of shots.
We did the math for 1 year, and it's 6,000 or something needles in me a year.
It was horrible. The kids would go to bed at night and Brad and I would just sit and cry.
I didn't know what to expect when we first found out he had diabetes. Oh, I had no idea. I didn't even know how to figure out the carbs or anything. I didn't know how to do any of that. I thought we were going to lose my child.
It was a lot of education. We saw a ton of specialists. We went up to Dartmouth Hospital and we started meeting with the pediatric endocrinologist up there. We met with nutritionists and diabetes educators and therapists.
The care at Dartmouth was amazing. I mean, his doctor was like, you can do anything you want to do. We're going to make it work and fit your life, not the other way around.
Type 1 diabetes is a disease of the pancreas. When the beta cells, the small cells in the pancreas gland, don't work, you have to have insulin or you will die.
Can't walk 300 feet. She's down to 789 calories a day and has trouble standing. She has been clinging to life, Dr. Banting, for 3 years.
Whenever I watch the Discovery of Insulin movie, I can't get to the end of it without crying, because they show the pictures of the kids and babies who, they used to call it the starvation disease because they were really on a strict diet and not allowed to eat because their sugars would go up, and so they literally starved to death before insulin was discovered.
There is a huge difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. There are many type 2s who eat right and take great care of themselves, and they still have it. But type 1 diabetes, you're insulin dependent for life.
Average out-of-pocket cost for someone who has type 1 diabetes is about $15,000 extra a year.
It's almost encouraging you not to take care of yourself. Test strips are so expensive. Well, I don't want to test 5 times a day. Or insulin's so expensive, like, I won't dose fully, or I won't eat as much.
We have to get this continuous glucose monitor pre-authorized and reapproved every single year.
As if type 1 diabetes goes away. And all these, this is just a nice to have. This is not just a nice to have. This saves us an hour's sleep every night. This changed our life.
It's a balancing act. You can do the same thing day in, day out with diabetes, but doesn't mean your sugars will stay the same. It can be challenging.
Type 1 diabetes, that is a 24/7, 365 lethal disease.
Anytime you put your child who needs so much care with somebody else, you really have to have a strong connection and a strong bond with that person. Without the school being on board with supporting Emma, we would be lost.
I just love Emma. She's sweet and kind and bubbly. She just has this passion for life. She just keeps going. She loves school. She loves her friends. But it's a lot of time and it's a lot of coordinating with them and their teachers and figuring out the schedule of, when are you gonna have snack? When are you gonna have lunch?
I already am nervous about not having Amy by our side anymore because she's our lifeline. I don't know if she knows how much she means to us, but she means the world to us.
Valley Community School, this is Charlotte.
We are incredibly fortunate to have an amazing school system. The teachers that we've had each year have been so supportive and fantastic. Our school nurse, Mandy Mayer, is the most amazing woman I know.
She's just so good at it. Even if she has a student that's really sick, whenever I knock on the door and she sees me, she takes me right in right away.
She's my school mother, that I call her. She's my school mommy.
A lot of people just think diabetes means that you need to give yourself insulin when you eat. But for her, it's how does she manage it when she's in PE class? What about testing when she has to take standardized tests and she's not feeling well or her numbers are off? Sometimes when she's low, her behavior might be off, or when she's high, her behavior might be off.
So here's the thing. I want you to still take home your book report and try to work on it.
Sometimes I have an off day and I'm just kind of like grumpy and like I don't want to.
Her sugars are off all day.
The most important thing that schools can do is to see a child with diabetes as a big picture. So it's kind of building an awareness in your whole school, not just with key players in her life.
So what do? I started making these like coconut water, hemp protein, power green smoothies with like Swiss chard and spinach and broccoli and celery and spirulina. And before I knew it was gonna kill me, a half a pound of kale. I have 8 bowel movements a day, everyone. It's like getting hit with a fiber missile. It's not healthy. My comedy is really something called transformational entertainment. So using comedy to improve the world. If you're a really healthy person, you can have really good diabetes. Diabetes was not that difficult for me when I was playing hockey at University of Northeastern because ideal life for diabetic is ideal for any human. It's lots of sunlight, lots of sleep, lots of water, meat, vegetables, fish, like don't eat junk food.
Every morning when he's with me, I'm always checking his sugar. Because I want to know what his number is. Because he'll make it up. He'll say, oh, like this morning. I said, did you check your sugar? And he said, yes. I said, what was your blood sugar? He said, he was 111. And so I went to the meter and I looked in it. He hasn't checked it since last night. So I got really upset. And I had him check it, and he was in the 300s. He was like 390.
Some people have an easier job managing their glucose levels.
If I'm not working out and I have 10 carbs, I need a lot more insulin than if I am working out and I have 10 carbs. So there's more variables than just the carbs.
I try not to nag and try not to be on him all the time, you know, with checking his blood sugars. He knows, he's old enough, he knows. First thing in the morning, he's gotta check his sugar. Go get some breakfast. Put it in the pump, you know, stuff like that. He knows that.
Sometimes I just don't do things, and that's not very good.
When you eat granola bar or whatever that your parents buy wrappers, do you always for that or no?
No.
Why not?
Because then the evidence isn't on my pump.
And certain kids just say, I don't want to deal with this thing. I want to eat whatever I want to eat, and just have chronically messed up blood sugars.
What we hear a lot is that I just want to be normal. I just want to be like every other kid. Which of course is difficult when you have problems that every other kid doesn't have.
Are you gonna stay with me for your recheck, or are you gonna go up to class?
I'm gonna wait. I feel really low.
Okay.
He didn't blame other people. He always blamed himself, you know, and you try to pick him back up and tell him just, you know, keep focusing, keep working hard. But, you know, it can only go so far. When his sugar's high, you can just tell his focus is just not there.
When he's low, he's always gone to bed early and just isn't in the mood for anything. When Mason, his sugar is high, that's when he starts to get stressed out and kind of destructive.
I just asked him when we were on our way here, I said, do you realize you're damaging your body? And he said, yeah. I said, I don't think you do.
It's just you've had it for so long and you just want to be or act like a normal kid again. So like you just give up on diabetes, taking care of yourself.
So I remember, Johanna, you have type 1 diabetes and there's nothing we can do about it right now. My dad and mom, they talked a lot and they said it would be really cool to have another kid with type 1. A week before they called in, Nick had just gotten diagnosed with type 1. My parents were beyond, they're just, are you serious? Like that actually happened? Like this actually happened?
I understand that, I don't understand why it happened, but I know that everything's supposed to happen for a reason and that it happens for a good reason is what God tells us.
Some people think we actually look alike, or some people think we were never apart ever for 6 years of our life because we fight constantly.
She's so annoying.
I think God had showed my mom and my dad both what they need to see and brought them to my brother. Miracle, I think. My dad built this whole thing, not just for me and my brother, but for everyone that has type 1.
Sometimes we don't appreciate that the events themselves can be therapeutic.
It's almost like the diabetics are the majority. This weekend is about being in their world. It's about them.
No one else in the world, even my parents, even as supportive as they are, they don't know how me and my brother feel. If you're low or you're high or you just feel left out. When I go to camp, that's probably the best time in my entire life every single year.
For 1 week, you don't have to worry about it. You can reintroduce yourself to your spouse or your mate. They are safer there than they are even in your own home.
All of a sudden, you feel like you're normal, there's nothing wrong with you, you don't have a disease. Everybody knows exactly how you're feeling.
Remember right there? Capture the flag and Ted was protecting our flag? Yeah, that was so
See the pyramids along the Nile. Watch the sunrise from a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Angier. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember till your dream appears. You belong to me.
The point of this week is that you guys are campers. You're not patients, you're not diabetics. You're just normal campers.
Government camp is like the biggest part of my life. Because like we take, like we're all family. Just really good friends. I came here and in 5 days I've made so many great friends. I never thought that I would find a best friend at camp like that. I came here and I was like, wait, all these people are just like me. We all have one thing in common. Like if I feel low, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Hello.
I'll be so alone without you, and maybe you'll be lonesome too. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again. You belong to me.
I would say to the people that are doing this across the country to continue your fight and effort.
Donate your time. If you have any volunteer opportunities for diabetes camps or events going on in the area, do so.
JDRF is the world's largest organization funding research projects for type 1 diabetes. They don't feel that while we're just sitting here waiting for a cure to happen, that we should sit here with treatment options that don't allow our kids to live a lifestyle that's anything less than amazing.
We raise money for JDRF. 100% of the proceeds from the event goes to JDRF to help educate the public and to help come up with these CGMs and new pumps and new, more accurate meters to really change the life of these type 1 diabetics.
Again, I'd like to thank you all for your donation.
Every car we sold, we donated a certain amount of money. And then we had an event here to raise money. And then we got Toyota to match what we raised.
On behalf of White River Toyota, Toyota Motor Company, and at Bat for Windsor's Kids, I'd like to present this check of $5,000 to the JDRF.
People need to be aware of the magnitude and the severity of this disease. And anything White River Toyota or any of my staff or anything we can do to help make more of an awareness, we're happy to do.
If there's one thing that you can do, I urge you to donate to JDRF.
We need to get the artificial pancreas on the market. The cure found, we need money. If we don't get the money, it's not going to happen. We don't want to be type 1 diabetics. It stinks.
I've been waiting for a cure for 37 years. I think we're getting really, really close now. Just let's get there.
If there's anything I could do for Ashley, I would take it away for, a week so she could have just a normal life for a week.
You never know what's going to happen in life. But the fact that you are alive, you are a miracle. The chances of your existence are just ridiculous. But we don't really appreciate that. So once you appreciate, oh, I shouldn't even be here. Like, this is just lucky that I get to be a thing. Then it's just like, whatever you have, you find the best way to deal with it, whether it's cancer, diabetes, this illness, this thing. Just constantly aim towards health and wellness and focus on the things that you love to do. And diabetes shouldn't be a roadblock that's keeping you from achieving anything.
I hope she does what makes her happy. I hope she grows with people who support her and has a partner in life that helps take care of her and supports her. And I hope if she chooses to have a family that it comes with ease for her. I just want her to be normal. I tell her all the time, I'm not gonna stop fighting until there's a cure.